Did it just start recording on its own?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? All right. What's going on, everyone?
Looked like there was a timer on it.
That was weird, man. That was crazy. My phone just kind of clicked on its own, man. Maybe, I don't know, we were just watching horror movies. Yeah, maybe we're being fucking haunted or something.
Yeah, the fuck knows.
Who knows? Welcome to another grand and great old episode of
What Chaps My Ass?
And, once again, what chaps my ass is basically just an expression for, you piss me off. It's basically what it is. It's just a nice way of saying it, really. It's a little more colorful,
Tad.
Just a little bit. So, we scour the planet and think about different things that have aggravated us throughout the week. And then we come on here and we vent real quick. And kind of hoping that maybe, you guys will start venting with us a little bit. So, we're going to get things rolling here, and we were just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other here. And we're going to start things off with what chaps my ass about the WWE right now. And there's, quite a few things that you can say piss you off these days.
There's quite a few ass chappers.
But the number one thing right now that's chapping my ass is the club. Or the lack of the club, should I say. The club, for those of you who pay attention to the indie circuit and Ring of Honor and stuff like that, you know that the club, or the Balor Club, or the Bullet Club, or whatever you want to call them, was AJ and Carl Anderson and, Luke Gallows, or was Balor and Anderson and Gallows. And they were main members of what was the Bullet Club. They're now all in WWE. And for a minute, we had it. Where we had
it.
AJ and the club together, the Cena thing, and then all of a sudden, they separated them. And I thought maybe they were doing this because they were going to bring back the Balor Club, if you will, and have them with Balor again. But they haven't done that. And, the club is now losing matches to Enzo and Cass.
Yep.
And basically they've become jobbers. That's what they've become. I mean, the tag team turmoil on the last Raw, the last time they did tag team turmoil, they were just one of the tag teams that Sheamus and Cesaro beat. Like, Sheamus and Cesaro started the thing, went the whole way through, and the club was just one of the teams they ran through.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It really is.
I mean, talent-wise, there are a few tag teams that can mess with these guys. And as a whole, the club entity should be one of the most devastating factions we've ever seen. And instead, it's completely getting pushed to the side. They're completely being forgotten about. I mean, they had the titles, but it wasn't for very long at all. I mean, they beat who? Sheamus and Cesaro to get the title?
No, this was before Sheamus and Cesaro.
No, it was after that.
Are you sure? Oh yeah, it was.
Because Sheamus and Cesaro beat the New Day.
That's back when they were dysfunctional.
Sheamus and Cesaro beat the New Day to get the titles from them. And then the club beat Sheamus and Cesaro not that long after that.
You're right.
Because who went into WrestleMania as the tag champions? It was the club, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the club because the next night on Raw, didn't they get their rematch?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the club. And their reign was kind of blipped out. And maybe that's because of the arrival of the Hardy Boys. I don't know. But this is a top-level tag team that deserves a lot more than this.
Exactly.
And instead, they're just being jobbed. Like, that's exactly what they're becoming.
Nope.
They're becoming a job tag team, and it's horrible to watch. But, I'm still, fingers crossed here, hopeful that, perhaps a feud with Lesnar and Balor kind of leads to maybe a club revival.
Yeah.
Where they kind of come to help Finn in that situation. But because Finn is so face right now, Like, I don't think there's any question that Finn is a face. That I don't really see that happening because that would involve him turning heel. And Lesnar then becoming the face in that situation. Which is hard to believe because I could believe Lesnar beating up all three of them at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get the club we all deserve and we all want. And again, to me, this is just Vince kind of stroking his ego. Trying to say that, oh, well, what you did in the Indies, that's garbage. It won't work here. And to prove it won't work, I'm just never going to entertain the idea. And that's basically what he's done.
More or less. It kind of fucking sucks, but...
No, it more than sucks. It's really a big loss for all of us because the club is a fantastic tag team.
Yeah.
And when you add in the element of Styles or even Balor, they just get that much better. You know, like, I mean, honestly, they should be on SmackDown with AJ.
Sure.
That's where they should be. Because you could see AJ, even though fans don't want to let him be the heel, they keep cheering him because he's just so goddamn good in the ring. But you could see AJ playing that whole role, you know, with the club at his side, him constantly winning the match because of something the club does to get involved. You know, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen. And unfortunately, I think the club is doomed for a WWE release in the next few years.
Could happen.
Unfortunately. Very unfortunate for the tag team division that a team like the club is going to get possibly released, but Breeze Dango is getting a push. You know?
And that's what chaps my ass.
Absolutely. When we were talking about the WWE, brought up Enzo and Cass.
As bad as this whole thing's get with Enzo and Cass, you know what really chaps my ass? What chaps my ass is that Enzo and Cass were made up to be the next big thing. The next big tag team in the tag team division before the club even came along. And here they are getting served up to everybody. Enzo looks like fucking the weakest piece of shit there is.
Oh, it's pretty bad the way they've done Enzo.
Getting his ass kicked all over the place and then fucking... Oh, here comes Big Cass to the rescue.
Yeah, but I think that's all part of Vince's
ego.
Ultimate plan. I think he likes Cass. Again, Vince loves the big guys. And I think he sees that, the Big Show's kind of on his way out. Undertaker's gone. Kane hasn't been around in a while. The big men, the 7-footers that Vince loves to have around, are few and far between at this point.
Because all you have right now, the big guys, like the tall motherfuckers, the 7-foot fucks.
Baron Corbin.
All you have is Corbin,
Strowman,
and Cass. That's it.
And I think Vince wants to push Big Cass as to being one of his top big men, but he knows that Cass has to kind of drop that goofy SAWFT
soft thing.
He's got to drop all that to do it, and he's going to turn Cass heel. Is my prediction right now.
Yeah. I really still believe that it was Cass that attacked Enzo on Raw.
There's a very good possibility of that, but I agree. I'm trying to remember. As a matter of fact, did they ever even get the NXT titles? I don't think they ever got it done. I don't think they ever got it done.
They never got a title, period.
They haven't held a single title since they've been in the organization.
Nope.
And yet they're probably the most popular tag team on the roster.
Next to the New Day.
Yeah, you could argue right there. I mean, it's going to be close with those two.
No.
It really is. Because when Enzo and Cass hit the building, whether you like Enzo in the ring or not, he gets the crowd involved. And to me, that's something that's more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Is making the crowd give a shit that you're out there.
Yep.
And it's something Enzo does well. But unfortunately, again, this is another tag team that I see just doomed at this point.
Well, doomed for one half.
Yeah, Cass will get the push, and Enzo, who knows what will happen to Enzo at that point.
Enzo will be riding on everybody else's nuts.
Maybe he's due for the commentary table or something. Who knows?
205 Live. That's my guess.
But yeah, it definitely chaps my ass the way Enzo and Cass have been. They were geared up for so much But again, I think they might be another victim of the Hardy Boys' arrival.
Yeah.
Because
I think they were supposed to win.
At Mania, yeah. I thoroughly believe they were supposed to win at Mania. I really do. Until, like, 3 days before Mania,
the Hardy Boys showed up.
The contract gets signed, and here come the Hardys.
Yep.
And, I mean, I can't complain too much, though, because the pop, that place went fucking nuts when the Hardys hit the building.
Oh, yeah.
And when they actually won the titles, that place went apeshit. So, definitely chaps my ass a little bit the way Enzo and Cass have gone. But I guess it's just kind of roll with the punches at this point. Another thing about wrestling right now that chaps my ass. Chaps both of our asses.
Yeah, very much.
205 Live. It's
the biggest ass chapper, period.
You know, I don't want to say they have no talent, because that's an inaccurate statement.
It's a very inaccurate statement.
They have Austin. They have Austin Aries. They have Neville. Jack Gallagher. They have Tony Nese. Brian Kendrick.
Akira Tozawa.
Noam Dar. Who's the other one? The one with the crazy finisher I showed you the other day. He's the Middle Eastern one.
Why the fuck can't I think? Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali. You know, there's talent on that roster. Tons of it.
A lot of it.
First of all, the fact that their show is only an hour really hurts them.
Not enough time to jam-pack everybody.
Yeah, you gotta just... There's only like 1 or 2 matches on the whole thing.
Yep.
You know, I think... But then NXT's still a friggin' hour too, and that pisses me off too.
Yeah.
But I think Vince doesn't have a lot of faith in a lot of those guys. And because of it, the only people we ever see are Austin Aries and Neville. That's pretty much it. And I get it. You know, that's the main feud right now, and it should be. But that feud has gone on too long already.
Agreed.
It's definitely gone on too long without Austin getting the title at this point. Like, it's a bit ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
Neville, you know, the king. Listen, nobody was happier for Neville than I was when he won that title. And when he finally got the push he's been deserving for so long. But if they want 205 Live to succeed, they're going to start having to trust the talent they have there more.
Yeah.
Giving more guys segments, giving more guys promos to cut. You know, hopefully both members of DIY will be joining that roster.
It's destined.
Hideo Itami, I think,
he'd be a good addition.
Is destined for 205 Live, at least for now. Good transition for him. You know, plus, you know, matches with him and Aries and him and Neville would be good.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. There's just something not right about 205 Live. The writing is not very strong at all. They don't utilize guys the right way. Tony Nese, they're completely turning him into a jobber.
Nope. And
he's so much better than that. Even TJP, this is the guy who was the first guy to hold the Cruiserweight title. And now he's Neville's bitch.
Yep. This is what we get.
You know?
This is what we're getting.
I mean, really, the most entertaining moments of 205 Live are when Jack Gallagher's out there.
Yeah.
Those are the best
and
moments.
And Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, and all he does is go, ha! Ha! Ha!
And it's over.
I love that little dude, though. He's great. He's fantastic. And then...
This is the last part of the WWE.
Hold on. Wait, just one last thing about 205 Live. Austin Aries. This chaps my ass more than anything. That a guy who, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 ring workers in the world today. And I know that's a strong statement to make.
Yeah.
Okay? But I'm a very big Austin Aries fan. And I have been since TNA. Okay? This is a guy who can get in there with guys much bigger than him and still put on a great show. Even though he can't do a lot of his moves to those guys because he can't pick them up and stuff. He can still find a way to work in that ring fantastically.
Yeah.
And he's just getting lost on 205 Live. Like, the main show he's on, I guarantee you nobody even watches at this point.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the ratings are down. They'll never admit to it, but I guarantee you they're down. And I guarantee you Austin is sitting there wondering, what the hell am I doing? Why am I here? Why did I never get my NXT title shot? Why am I on 205 Live? Why am I not at least in a mid-card push for the Intercontinental title right now? At the very least. So, the way WWE is wasting Austin Aries' talent chaps my ass. Last thing that chaps my ass about the WWE is my, I guess he would be like my second favorite guy right now in the WWE. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite heel in the WWE right now. And that's Bray Wyatt. SmackDown was turning Bray Wyatt into the man on SmackDown. He was finally where he belonged. Finally, he was the biggest heel on SmackDown. There was no questioning at that point who the number one heel was. It was Bray. And that was it. And then they do a mid-season draft, send him over to Raw. And yeah, I get it. He's still in the main event, but he's kind of lost. Like, does anybody believe he's going to win that Fatal 5-Way?
No.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that he's going to be the one who wins that. You know, I believe that he's just going to get eliminated by one of the guys in the match. Because I think it's a one-by-one elimination match.
I'm not actually too sure.
If it is, I believe he's going to get eliminated by one of those guys, and that's his future feud.
That's it, right there.
But I don't like it. Bray is a lot better than this. His promos are the be-all, end-all of promos. He should be the number one heel on whatever fucking roster he's on. Like, he should have a following like The Undertaker right now.
He should be the next Undertaker.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's getting wasted. I think they were finally finding their way with him on SmackDown. And then for whatever reason, the geniuses involved decided to send him over to Raw. And now he's just lost amongst all the other guys you want to give a push to over there. So, unfortunately, Bray, you're lost. You really are. And it chaps my ass to no end because Bray Wyatt is a lot better than this. A lot better. Okay, that pretty much ends the WWE segment. Now we're going to get into something that is very personal for me. I grew up in the hip-hop scene. I love hip-hop. I love rap. My very first album I ever owned, the very first album I ever owned, was Wu-Tang Clan Forever. Triumph. Fantastic. Second album I ever owned was Biggie Smalls' Life After Death. Okay? Just the age range I was in. I didn't really own the other albums that are classics until after that. But I love hip-hop. I love rap music. The rap music of today, though, just pisses me the fuck off.
It does.
And fucking mumble rappers. What the fuck is that? I can't. I can't. It's not even music. It's not. Like, how is this considered hip-hop? Lyricism is one of the 5 elements of hip-hop. And yet, here's guys who have no lyrical ability whatsoever.
Designer, Lil Yachty,
Zero lyrical ability, and yet they are selling millions and millions of albums. And yet artists like a guy like Yellow Wolf, who actually puts out original music,
yep,
has an original sound,
yep,
is an absolutely phenomenal lyricist,
yep,
whether people want to admit it or not, gets less attention than these fucking idiots. It's a disgrace to the art form of hip-hop. It really is. When idiots like Lil Yachty are doing better than Slaughterhouse.
That's insane.
Slaughterhouse, one of the most ridiculous rap groups to ever get put together. Lyrically, that group, Royce the 5'9", King Crooked, Joel Ortiz, excuse me, sorry, Joe Buttons. These are 4 individuals who could shred on their own. Put them together, it's ridiculous how good they are together. And they're not getting them attention. It's these fucking morons who are sitting there mumbling shit I can't even understand. If that's the case, I can make an album. Bitches and hoes. McDonald's. Done. Platinum album. I just got out of the ghetto. What's up? Now I got money. No, man. What happened to actually needing talent to make it in the world? What happened? Now we let these assholes in?
Rap got lazy.
Oh my God.
And you know who I blame for this shit? You know who I blame? That XXL freshman class bullshit. Because that's where all of these motherfuckers came from.
Yeah, but you know what? That's unfair to blame them. Because there was an XXL freshman class that had Fred the Godson, Yellow Wolf, had actual lyricists on it at one point.
And now they're getting lazy with this shit.
So
yes, I do blame them.
I feel hip-hop is losing its way. I feel like Eminem, Jay-Z, and Nas need to come together and make an album and just destroy mumble rappers.
Please do.
Just attack them all.
Please do.
Kill them all.
Yep.
Send them off in a boat, light it on fire. Nobody will care.
Give them a Viking funeral.
Nobody will miss them.
Nope.
I promise you. Because this mumble rap phase, and believe me, it's a phase. Trust me, I've been around long enough, listened to enough hip-hop and everything else to tell you it's a phase. It will eventually fizzle out and nobody will care. It's gotta go. Mumble rappers, you chap my ass. I can't stand yous. If I saw one of yous in the street, I'd punch you in the fucking mouth. I promise you that.
Maybe he'll start talking normal.
Got a couple more topics to hit. This next one, my brother won't be chiming in much, but
I will not be chiming in little to zero.
Boxing fans. Boxing fans, you chat my ass to no end. And you know why? Because you're never fucking satisfied. Ever. I've got 3 examples for you. Number 1, Gennady Golovkin. The guy's been on a killing spree as of late. He was on a knockout streak. His last 2 fights, he wasn't perfect. He still got the stoppage against Kell Brook, but he didn't look indestructible. And against Danny Jacobs, he didn't get the stoppage, but he won. And a lot of people say, oh, he didn't win. He won the fight. Go back and watch again. Gennady won that fight. Jacobs looked great, don't get me wrong. He also looked like he was a light heavyweight in there fighting a middleweight. But as soon as Gennady just showed a little chink in his armor, oh, he's not as good as he was. He's not that good. He's not this. He's not that. He's never fought anybody. You can say he hasn't fought anybody all you want, but he's a middleweight. And look over the middleweight roster. He's fought the best middleweights available. Why does a guy need to move up and down in weight these days to prove to you he's a good fighter? Why? Bernard Hopkins did 20 some odd straight defenses of his middleweight title. And it took him moving up in weight to get the credit he deserved. Why? Why can't a guy just be champion in his division and dominate and that not be enough for you? Another example, Deontay Wilder, current WBC heavyweight champion. Everybody hates on Deontay and says he hasn't fought anybody yet. He knocks out bums. He's fought the guys who will fight him. Pay attention. He calls out everybody in the world. It is not his fault if these guys don't sign to fight him. So what does he do? He takes on the next available contender for his title. He goes in there and he knocks him out. What more do you want of a heavyweight? He's doing his job. He's knocking guys out that they put in front of him. Hopefully soon, an Anthony Joshua or Joseph Parker or one of these guys will sign to fight him, and we will find out if he's the best heavyweight in the world. But to say he's not a top heavyweight right now, you just sound ignorant. Because he's doing what we want a heavyweight to do. He's knocking people the fuck out. What more do you want of a heavyweight, honestly? I don't understand you guys. I really don't get it. I just don't. And then even, Anthony Joshua, leading into his fight with Klitschko, you were all, he's never fought anybody. Dominic Brazil wasn't tested either. Joshua's never really been tested. Fight against Klitschko, he was tested. It was a war. An absolute war. Fight's over now. Joshua gets the win. And the very next day I hear people saying, oh yeah, but we'll see how good he is when he fights when he fights Ortiz or Joseph Parker, somebody who's not out of their prime. No matter what these guys do, you criticize. You've always got something negative to say about these guys. I wonder what you're going to say about Errol Spence now that he stopped Kell Brook. Everybody said Spence hadn't fought anybody yet. Well, now he just stopped Kell Brook. I'd love to hear what you have to say now. Boxing fans, appreciate what you have right now. For years, we had the best fighters in the world dancing around each other and refusing to fight each other. Now they're all actually agreeing to square off with each other. Stop bitching and just enjoy the fact that boxing has finally returned to where it should be. Stop chapping my fucking ass. You ready for the last segment?
Yep.
You good?
Yep, I'm good.
You had nothing you want to chime into the boxing thing?
Nah.
Yeah. He doesn't watch boxing. There's something wrong with him.
I watch UFC and wrestling. It's the closest I'll get.
All right. Very last segment here is something that I guess can probably hit close to home with some people. It hits close to home for me. Shitty parents. And by shitty, I mean just dumbass parents who just don't put their kids before everything else.
Yep.
I am a single father. It's what I am. I raised my daughter by myself. My daughter comes before everything else in this world. Nothing else matters, just her. If something's going on with her, everything else gets pushed to the side. Leave me the hell alone, stay away from me. My daughter needs me. But I see these parents at my kids' school who just, it'll be 4 o'clock. School gets out at 3:15. The kid's still sitting there waiting for somebody to come pick them up. What the fuck? School gets out the same time every day. I see kids who are late every day. I mean, every day. The same kids are late.
Yep.
Every day. School starts the same time every day. How can you not get your fucking kid there on time?
I'm going to chime in real quick. My mother works for a school. She's a lunch aide. And every day at dinner, she has a different story because it's that fucking pathetic. These kids, some of the stories are pretty bad. And if DIFUS was ever called, I feel sorry for these parents. Because that's when they'll start giving a fuck. They get sent to school with no breakfast. Some of the kids that get sent to school with lunch. My mother told me a story. A kid got sent to school with a rotting apple and a sandwich that consisted of molded bread. And I wanted to be like, all right, what the fuck is this kid's father's name? Because I can't do anything to the mother. What's the kid's father's name so I can go to his fucking house and square off and just punch him dead in the jaw for sending your kid to school with that kind of lunch? A lot of kids are out of shape now because they fucking parents' ways to get kids to shut up is just fucking stuff their mouth with food, which is completely bad. Fucking kids are malnourished. Fucking.
Listen, I don't mean to sound
it's bad,
messed up here, but they're little assholes these days too.
They really are. They have no respect.
Middle schoolers and shit. They have no respect. And that comes from one area in your life.
Parenting. What is wrong with... You're not a shitty parent if you say no.
Listen, I was taught respect from multiple angles in my life. But most notably was a man who had a big impact on raising me, and that was my grandfather. My grandfather told me one simple rule. When you're out there with your friends, you can be whatever you want to be. You want to act like an idiot? Have fun. But when you are around adults, when you walk into your friend's home, when you, even if there's little kids around, with like a mom around with their little kid, you have respect for that situation, for those people. I mean, these kids today, they could give a shit less. Like, I'll be walking past them with my 9-year-old daughter. And they're, fuck this, fuck that, I did this last night, I was smoking weed. My daughter doesn't need to hear that shit. I don't talk like that around my daughter, so who the hell are you to talk like that around her?
There was a kid that had to be no more than like fucking 8 years old, walking past the school. He goes, yeah, puberty's when you grow hair on your balls. I'm like, who are you? How old are you?
Listen,
what?
Parents of the world, take 10 minutes out of your day. Sit down with your kids and spend some time with them.
Yeah, please do.
Okay? I'm not the perfect parent, and I don't pretend that I am. I'm sure I've made plenty of mistakes. But my daughter knows one thing at the end of the day. That she is, without question, the most important thing in my world. I might not be perfect. Financially, I'm definitely not like well off or anything, so there's definitely times I have to say no to her when I wish I didn't. But I am at everything at my daughter's school. Every single event, I am there. Anytime my daughter tells me she wants me somewhere, I am there. She wants to go do something, we go do it. Stop putting other things before your kids. Because one day you're going to wake up and realize you shouldn't have.
And stop chapping our asses.